Greetings, Israel, Judah. This is your brother, DFG. Hey, my brothers and sisters. I just want to take some time, with you all today and share the notes around our Bible study this past Wednesday night. Praise Yahuah. We had a lot of good information. We were able to do some praying together, and I just want to remind my brothers and sisters that, if you desire to join us, in celebrating Abba Yah in appreciation of him giving us the opportunity to be an assembled group of Israelite brothers and sisters, and even the stranger, who feels, compelled to participate. Hide my little drink over there. Gatorade. But to participate with us. And, as we said, the study is 45 minutes, and, it's intended, to inspire everyone to open up your book. I know in these evil last days that we're in, sometimes that can be very challenging because our enemies, the spiritual ones and the physical ones, go above and beyond to try to distract us because of their own lust and greed and self-centeredness. And whenever those demons can't get full attention, then they become real crafty, and then their wickedness start to appear. And so we're coming together so that Abba Yah, can I guess maybe create a venue for us to get right through the middle, like he split open, the sea, in the first Exodus, so that we would have a pathway to escape, that the evil that was all around us as we were leaving, the land of the heathens, and again in the first, Mizraim or Egypt, in our first Exodus. So we come together, so that we can fight back and we can hear the voices of one another and be encouraged by one another, hearing the testimonies by one another, but most importantly, again, opening up the book and celebrating Abba Yah through knowledge, through fellowship, and re-encouraging each other to hang on, to be resilient, to be persistent, in these last and evil days, because trust me, brothers and sisters, it's no joke out there right now. And you know that. I guess that old saying, brother, you're preaching to the choir right now. I get it. But I just want to make sure we all understand it. If you're not protecting yourself, like Brother Green said in his testimony on this past Wednesday, and asking Abba Yah to put a shield around your personhood, put a shield around, your transportation while you're in it. Or wherever you might be. If you walk into a market or a supermarket, in wisdom, ask Abba Yah to put a ring of fire around this supermarket. So when I go in here, these demons can't attack me. Same thing about your homes. Ask Abba Yah, put a ring of fire in this house. And if there's any demon in here, try to destroy them. Take them out of here, Abba Yah. And we have to be serious about this, brothers and sisters. And again, those are examples. But I would say in these wicked, evil days, wherever you are, your workplace, before you go in there. And I used to do this all the time. I would just walk around, the building if I could. And if I couldn't walk around the building, then I would just take my hand and I would just do it like that. Abba Yah, put your hand around my house while I'm gone. Put your hand around this building as I go inside of this building. Put your ring of fire, your strength, your angels. So that we don't go in these places, not prepared and calling on, our Abba Yah Elohim, Yahuah, to fight upon our behalf, because those demons are there. And these places that I mentioned to you, brothers and sisters, I am saying, do not take it for granted. Now, if you're in a household and you're in a praying household and everybody in that house is on fire for Abba Yah and they're in the Torah and they're obeying the commandments, the statutes, the laws, then you're good. That doesn't mean I wouldn't continue to pray and anoint some things in there. And when like they do the spring cleaning, I would do demon cleaning, even inside your car, brothers and sisters, your automobile. Do some demon cleaning, because you never know. You follow me? Again, we're fighting enemies on two fronts. We're fighting spiritual wickedness, and we also fighting against the seed of the demon and the seed of the heathens who are controlled by their fathers. And then we're fighting 2/3 Israel, who is about as lost, as the day is long, and halfway out of their mind, because most of them full of that, the syringe juice, for lack of a better word. And I use the word juicy juice. Y'all know what juicy juice is. That's poor man's punch. I shouldn't say that. But it's true. If you go into the inner cities, you're gonna see juicy juice. At least if you're in North America. So anyway, that's no disrespect. Your brother was on. We ate commodity peanut butter that was so thick you could literally put a spoon in it, stick the spoon in it, and pick the whole can up, and it would bend the spoon. So we're not judging here. I'm just simply stating, when I use that as a metaphor, y'all know what I mean when I use that metaphorically, because they focus, that wickedness upon our people more than anybody else by accusing us to be sickly, to justify, and they use those heathen shepherds of theirs and educators and lawmakers to enforce that. I guess they're evil against shepherds. They're wicked shepherds. And we're going to share even a little bit of that in today's message because we're going to be looking at what we studied. Let me say that what we studied was the book of Zechariah chapter 11. And so, but we're going to look at, shepherds or wicked shepherds. And I want to say this up front, that a wicked shepherd are just those who are in control, who's in charge. But I'm talking about in charge of large, groups or body of people. And at least in this instance, that's what I'm going to be talking about. Okay, my brothers and sisters. But again, I just want to remind you that all are invited if you come with the right heart and the right mind. But we are praying prior to the study. Oh, and by the way, we are going to look at getting a new conference call number because, again, Satan has somehow stuck his hand in the middle of that because he sees the mighty work that Abba Yah is doing, through some of us. And what I mean when I say mighty work, I'm not talking about arrogancy. I'm talking about Abba Yah is responding to our love to him. And if you go back and you read 2 Chronicles 16:9, you know exactly what I'm talking. Matter of fact, let's go there real fast. And I stopped there because, Abba Yah said, what? When remember you got demons out there. And they're going to try to attack us because, y'all being high-minded, or y'all arrogant, or y'all think y'all better than them. Well, you know what? If you're a filthy, wicked, rotten demon, yeah, we are better than you. But for the rest of the feeble-minded who just want to attack for the sake of attacking, this is for you. Second Chronicles 16:9. Now, hear you this, Israel, and the stranger, and the heathens. For the eyes, 2 Chronicles 16:9, for the eyes of Yahuah run to and fro throughout the earth, throughout the whole earth. Let me be clear that throughout the whole earth, to show himself strong. To show who? Abba Yahuah wants to show himself strong. He goes through the whole earth to show himself strong on behalf of who? Those whose heart is perfect towards him. So let it be understood, this has nothing to do with arrogance or high-minded. This is how to do. We are trusting and we're believing, and we know our Abba Yah word is true. Yahuwah word is true. If he said it, he's going to do it. So therefore, we can say it too. Yeah, he has called out 1/3 of Israel to empower them, to embolden them, and to tell them, don't you be bashful. Not in these times. This is not the time to sit down and say nothing and be quiet. We need to be fighting when we go out. We need to be fighting when we come in. We need to be fighting, for our, for the babies amongst us. Because we're at war. And these demons, they know their time is short. And so they're going to come up with their little crafty lies and their little crafty, cunning, processes and systems, ordinances, laws, mandates, technology, and anything else they can come up with, brothers and sisters. And I'm telling my brothers and sisters, I love you with all that's in me in this truth. You are the target. If you don't know you're the target, it's only because you just don't know what you don't know. So you don't have time, none of us have time to be just sitting around idly, and not protecting ourselves, spiritually and physically. And I have to say it with the passion that Abba Yah puts inside of me. I don't know any other way to say it. And I'm not interested in any other way of saying it anyway. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet. Isaiah 58, sounds familiar there? But I bring this out because, again, the enemy is attacking the Bible study in terms of the call-in number. So Brother Mendez and myself, we're working on getting a new number, and that you can call in and not have to even use a password. And so we are praying that Abba Yah will have this finalized today at some point. And then on tomorrow, Shabbat, Yah willing, I'll share that information. And then I also put it in the community page too. It's going to be the same time, 7 o'clock, Wednesday night, Eastern time. And again, if you're from the United Kingdom and other places, remember, we just rolled forward the timeline. So here the hour moved forward. So if you were getting on with us, let's just say, if you're 5 hours different from us, well, when in the so-called daylight saving time, the time moves forward, then that means if you were coming on at 11 o'clock, as I said, we started at 7, you would get on at midnight. Believe it or not, some of our dear brothers and sisters in the United Kingdom are that committed to Abba Yah. Praise Yah, Sister Sharon. I saw your email and I got you, my dear sister. But so if we move back an hour, move forward an hour, then you will have to move forward an hour too. So if you were normally calling in, let's just say 12 o'clock or 11 o'clock at night, when we move forward 1 hour, your 11 o'clock is going to be 12 o'clock, okay, over there. Or, anywhere, you have to just do the math, but just if you're not finding us when you call, it's not that we're not having a study. It's just that you're an hour late because we moved forward an hour and you're still calling in at the set time prior to what they call here daylight savings time, in the States. Okay? All right. And again, we'll be getting that information, that number out, as soon as we can get everything finalized. And it's going to be soon. It'll be before next Wednesday. So hopefully, you're staying with it and following whether it be the post and, or the videos so you can get that information. Okay, brothers and sisters? All right. And then, one last thing, I want to thank Sister Haddon. She and I were talking on yesterday, and she reminded me that we need to also be reminding one another about, the feast days, and I think the days of unleavened bread is coming up. So so I'll put that in the post too. So when you get a chance, go over to the post, and you'll see an email that our dear sister constructed for us. To remind us of the importance and some of the things that she and her family, how they keep the festival days, which are commanded by Abba Yah, by the way, brothers and sisters. Okay, all right. So again, special thanks to you, Sister Haddon. We appreciate you in many ways. The sister's fired up. She loves Abba Yah, and she's a fighter. She is a fighter. Whew. You got some. So I know you don't mind me saying, but sister got some spunk, and I love it. All right. That being said, dear brothers and sisters, again, the Bible study, 45 minutes. And then at the end of the study, we open up for questions, commentary as relates to the study, so that, again, we can have the pleasure of feeling all of the loving energy of like-minded, brothers and sisters, of Israel. Okay? All right. I think that was the public service announcement part of it. But anyway, we're going to be studying in the book of Zechariah. Again, it's what we talked about. That's what the Bible study, was on. The book of Zechariah, one of our prophets. And we were reading chapter 11. So let's go. So, all right, chapter 11. Open your doors, O Lebanon, that the fire may devour your cedars. Verse 2, howl the firm tree, and for the cedar is fallen, because the mighty are spoiled. O howl, you oaks of Bashan, for the forest of the vintage is come down. And even right there, brothers and sisters, in that little meat, see, that's a warning. That's a warning to the people that Abba Yah is about to bring about destruction, because his patience with the wickedness, has run out. And even in those first two, he's telling, open up your doors, O Lebanon, that the fire may devour the silver. That's said cedars. That, you don't need me to explain what that means. Like houses burning down, buildings burning down. The fire is coming. If you go over to Zechariah chapter 14, a couple of look at this. Zechariah chapter 14. I'm going back to the study, but Zechariah chapter 14, verse 12. Look how this reads, brothers and sisters. And this shall be the plague wherein Yahuah will smite. And again, all these folk who want to tell us that some other savior is out there, or if I'm saying to you, because some people decide to unsubscribe. We're past that now. But they don't want the truth, or they want the truth, the Christian way. Well, it's all love. It's all about love, and you need a savior. You too wicked to go before your own father. Yeah, right. You might be too wicked to go before your own father, but I'm not too wicked to go before mine. Especially when mine tells me I can come before him, if my people who are called by my name. How about that? 2 Chronicles 7:14 says Yahuah, and they, my people, Israel, will humble themselves and pray to him, Yahuah, and seek my face and turn from their wickedness. Then I will hear them, who Yahuah will hear us, and forgive our sins. Whose sins? Those of us who are going to Yahuah, not some other lesser Elohim. And then I will heal their land. In other words, I will answer their prayers. And see, when we get over into the study back, I'm going to show my brothers and sisters something that many of you may know about, but I suspect some of you guys, because you might have read past this. It's going to be over in the book of Proverbs, and we'll get there in a moment. I don't want to get ahead of myself here. But for this particular thing, the fire I'm talking about, look at Zechariah 14:12 says, and this shall be the plague wherein Yahuah will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Oh, that's really Israel, us. All of those people who have fought against us. Now, I've shown some pictures of some of the ways they have fought and the wickedness they have done to us, our ancestors, still doing. I can show pictures of burnings and hangings in the 19th century, but we also can see pictures of Philander Castile and Tashiana Jefferson and Sandra Bland and Michael Brown. George, I don't know about what's going on with George Floyd over there, but many other of our brothers and sisters right here, right now, Eric Garner's, that they have committed the same atrocity. Murder is murder no matter how you try to size it up, whether it be from a tree of fire or a bullet. But they hope that we're ignorant enough not to connect those dots. Oh, that's the past. It ain't the past when you just did what you did, yesterday. That now they finally look clever ways not to report. Look what happened, to the brother in Memphis. Nothing has changed with these wicked demons. So don't let them, as the old saying, punk you out. You ain't punking, none of them will punk me out. And if I say my brothers, don't let nobody punk you out. You stand up against them when they start talking, spewing out those filthy lies. As though, that's already happened. You guys are living in the past. A soulless one got the audacity to tell spiritual ones about understanding Abba Yah. Get out of here with that foolishness. But anyway, let's continue. It says, their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Now, what does that tell you, brothers and sisters? Something's going to be so hot that literally humans are going to be melting. And yet our people, you would think just to read this, that would scare you straight. If you were out there in this world doing well the stuff that you're doing, this to me, this would be enough to scare me straight. Say, what? Man? No kidding? But, not Israel. The heathens ain't going to consider. And they can't get it escaping anyway, except for the rare needle in the haystack stranger who's obeying all the law, statutes, and commandments as the book is written. And most of them, there may be a few of them out there, but it ain't my responsibility to count them. And it's not yours either. I'm talking about you Israelites. But let's go on. But it goes on to say that, they're going to melt. But you would think that would be enough, for all of Israel to step back and say, whoa, because this is directed our way too. It's not going to miss, this is coming down to the earth. And good, 1/3 of us, it's going to protect us. That's his word. He would never destroy the righteous with the wicked. But you would think that would be enough for them to step back and say, man, I need to get my act together. But then Isaiah said in Isaiah chapter 23, say they're not going to consider that. They're not going to consider what I just read. They're going to blow it off. I don't care about that. Everybody got to die someday. I guess when you're out there burning and kicking and screaming and hollering, you remember what you said, if that's you. But I don't think you're going to be so pompous, if this is happening to you. I'm talking about those, again, who are rejecting Abba Yah because of selfishness. Because I can't think of any other reason why would you reject your Creator who loved you enough to give you life? Yeah, I know we're in the land of those who have, harmed us and did everything in their power to eliminate us. I get it. I get how embittered you can be. But this stuff was brought on us, brothers and sisters, because of disobedience. Go back and read Deuteronomy 28, starting at verse 14. It will remind you. It didn't have to be this way. And it wasn't always this way, by the way, brothers and sisters. Let us not forget that. If you go out and commit an atrocious crime and you get caught, why would you complain? Why would you say that they're not treating you justly? It's unjust that they're going to hold me accountable for what I did. Why would your logic, be so distorted? Well, that's no different than why we're doing what we're doing, because of our ancestors, and many of us are still doing it to this very day. That's caused this to happen to us. You're blaming the wrong, but these rebellious ones among us who won't consider, they want to blame Abba Yah, Yahuah, but they won't take no responsibility for what they're doing. Well, the day will come, well, they will. All of us are going to have to answer. All of us. But some of us have already, heeded the call. We have already answered for ourselves because we have come out of religion and we've come into relationship with our Abba Yah. We're no longer following, the religions of the world, any of them, nor their customs, nor their practices, including the ones who say, they're not Christians, but they still believe in some, man, coming here at 33 years old, which is a Freemason wicked number, 33. Died, at 33. He rose on the third day, another damn 3. And they can't see the black magic involved in that, the sorcery involved in that. Well, some of us have waken up by the glory of the Most High, by the mercy of Abba Yah. And we are going to stay awake, and we'll do everything in our power to wake up every single Israelite true believer who was lost in that mess as we were. We're going to do our best until Abba Yah takes us out of here. Or he takes his word out of here, because that's coming too. To signal them to come home. But these double standard ones over there talking about they're Israelites, but they still believe in, some, heathen died for them on a cross. Or at least he was created by the heathens. Do your research. But again, I don't want to spend any time over that, but some of our people over there saying, well, aren't y'all the same as those people? Unless you need to get your ears checked. We have said time and time again, we are Israelites. We believe in one Savior, one Redeemer, one Restorer. And his name is Yahuah, and no one else do we believe in. No one else, only him. So we're not them, because they believe the same thing the church believe, but they want to tell you it's two of them. Guess why they'll be telling you it's three. But then, okay, let me stop. All right, pick back up here. Verse 3, Zechariah, chapter 11, verse 3. And there's a voice of howling, and there is a voice of the howling of the shepherds, for their glory is spoiled. A voice of the roaring of the young lions, for the pride of Jordan is spoiled. Thus says Elohim, feed the flock of the slaughter, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. See, this is what he's having your brother and many other like-minded brothers and sisters do right now in these last days. Feed Abba Yah's flock. Those who have been slaughtered or abused or taken advantage of. Help them help themselves. Feed them. And this is what a reputable shepherd would do. But the wicked ones, they're just going to make a bunch of noise. You're going to hear them screaming in it, hollering in their pulpits. The big voices are the little whiny ones. Because their time is short and they're desperate. Because they see the falling away of some of the 1/3. They see us leaving. And rather than, revisit why we're leaving or really look inside themselves and ask themselves why haven't they left, they just accuse us to be a part of some, idiot up on corners hooping and hollering about nothing. But that's how the enemy does. Because look what he says here, whose possessors slay them and they hold themselves not guilty. They do all kind of wickedness and they don't take any responsibility for it. And as soon as you confront them, they go to hooping and hollering and trying to twist it and spin it. Again, y'all in the past. Y'all need to forget the past. How can we forget the past when it's ever present right now? But see, that's the sorcery to you. When somebody come up to you, brothers and sisters, with that, y'all in the past, that is sorcery. That's witchcraft. They're trying to manipulate your mind by making you believe that what you're experiencing, you're not experiencing. They're wicked, everyday present footsteps are all over the place. Look at the poverty in the inner cities, urban areas. And look how they use the resources. They take those resources and put it out where they are, but when it comes down to inner cities, no, we that ain't on us. That ain't on us. That's them. That's them. That's them. They create these wicked laws, where if their kids do it, talking about the heathens, he's just too young. Like the heathen the other day, that up in Nashville, y'all know that she heathen, or whatever it was. Oh no, just have some mental problems. It's identity issues. They do wickedness and they don't hold themselves accountable for it. They will never take responsibility for the state of the conditions in these inner cities. Unless they're trying to run our people out there to gentrification or something so they can steal it again and again. Jack up the prices so our people have no alternative but to go into these harsh areas and try to survive. And what I would easily can equate to let's just say conditions with rats and rodents and, and garbage, those kind of conditions. Sewer lines broken, sewer coming out of the street, grass, lawn overgrown, you name it, it's happening. And then they blame us for it. Like we control the monetary system of this government. It's funny, whenever there's a disaster, something happens, they go call it, the governor's going to declare a national emergency. Now all of this money comes to restore their stuff. But they can look right at the situation and conditions our people living in right now, and they never use the word a national emergency. Let's get funds and let's go and fix these inner cities. They never say that. You know why? Because they're more interested in destroying us than establishing us. And that's why anytime someone says reparation, we don't owe y'all nothing. Even the little wicked heathens who just come here, immigrants, have that same little nasty attitude. Here living, off of our ancestors' hard work and have the audacity to say, well, my parents didn't have nothing to do with that, so why should I pay reparation? Because you're here, dummy. That's why you came here, dummy. Because of what our people did, dummy. If you're one of that group. I'm not calling every immigrant a dummy. I'm talking about those who think like idiots because they love the heathens' ways. And they've taken on the heathens' attitude, and yes, they hold themselves not guilty as well. And if this isn't you, then what you mad about? Let's go on. Blessed be Yahuah, for I am rich. I'm sorry, I skipped something. Whose possessors, verse 5, 11 and 5, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, and that they sell them, those that sell them say, blessed be Yahuah. In other words, they're saying, Yahuah wants them off these streets. It's Yahuah who wants to say we should lock them up. It is Yahuah who is judging them for all these things. Lie, lie, lie. Yeah, Yahuah is judging us, using you to judge us. But Yahuah never gave you the permission to slay us. Where did you find that in your Torah or your book or your New Testament, whatever crafty manifestos that you have come up with to teach your kind? Our kind too, because some of them are still over there listening and learning from your kind. The heathens kind is what I'm talking about. Like they have nothing to do with anything. Well, that's all on them. They set the conditions for it, and then we fall into the traps. Again, they walk away, say, nah, that's the law. Yeah, but you created the laws. And when you get ready to apply those same laws you created to your kind, talking about these heathens, all of a sudden, we got to be merciful, we got to be thoughtful, we got to be considerate. After all, we don't want to destroy their lives. But when it comes to Israel, throw them away, lock them up and throw away the key. And go get some more. But y'all got something special for them devils. You remember that fire we just read about? But some other things too. He's going to give them double for their trouble, as the book says. For I would no more pity, they went on, it said, who are rich. Verse 5, still reading, brothers. It says, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. These are the heathens having the dash. And unfortunately they're right, but they got the audacity to be talking crap to us about us. And many of our people sitting over there, yeah, you're right about that. Yeah, that's true. You can't deny that. When you hear them talking about themselves like that, and you see the rest of them running around and talking, yeah, that's true. You can't deny that. You ever hear the heathen saying that about themselves? As wicked as they are? No, they say nothing. Quiet as a church mouse peeing on cotton, as the saying goes. They say nothing. But they go right in front of Israel and start talking about all of the crime, all of the, and saying, and that's because these black fathers, and that's because these mothers are welfare queens, and that's because these children are wildlings and super predators. Remember what Clinton said? Trump with his wicked ass. Remember what they were saying about the what is that? The Central Park 5. Not just one little. That's not even a dot on the butt of a elephant. Brothers and sisters, these folks are saying this kind of stuff about us all the time. They don't want. The problem is they don't want your brother talking about it. That's the issue. It ain't that I'm lying on them. Trust me on that. But they seduce our spirits with doctrines of devils. And now people go over there. Again, you heard me already talking about it. They seduce them over there. Oh no, the Messiah died for your sins, brother. As long as you believe in the Messiah, then you can go before the Father, and the Father gonna hear the Messiah, and that will give you a free pass with your wicked ass. And they believe it. I don't know how, but they've convinced themselves that that's true. But that's not what the book says. They're going to be in for a rude awakening. I pitied, like Mr. T. Remember you guys old enough to remember Mr. T on the A-Team? I pitied the fool. Oh, man. Praise Yahuah. But Yahuah has a sense of humor. And if not, he let your brother, experience it. Verse 6. For I will pity no more the inhabitants of the land, says Yahuah. Judgment, brothers and sisters. But lo, I will deliver the men, everyone to his neighbor's hand, into the hand of his king. That's your governments, including this one. When they say deliver you to the hand, that means these governments, they're going to do everything in their power to disarm you. And they're going to do everything in their power to push you in these FEMA camps, and everything in their power to eliminate you. And now, when I say eliminate, I'm not talking about not calling your number. I'm talking about pulling your card. And we saw that from 2020 to 2022 plus, really still going on, how they were pulling the card. Some would say, I don't know, stretching the rope. Just a new form of doing it. Doing it on a mass production scale. Because after all, who were the targets again? So-called blacks and Hispanics. At least you forget. They're not playing. But Israel's over there not considering that they're not playing, and that's what these warnings are about. Let's continue. Verse 7, and I will feed the flock of the slaughter, even you, O poor of the flock. I'm sorry, I keep skipping over, brothers and sisters. Can I go back to verse 6? For I will no more pity the inhabitants of the land, says Yahuah. No more mercy for these countries. None. And you see that going on in Africa. Brother Adrian and I were sharing, a lot of us were sharing information back and forth, Sister Clara, many of us. Just reminding everyone, look, here are the signs. Look what's going on. Here are the signs. Babylon is falling. The great whore and all of her delicacies and all of her friends falling right along with her. Can you say West? The Western nation, or the nation of the West? And I didn't say state nations. I will deliver, continuing on, says Yahuah, and I will deliver the men, everyone into his neighbor's hand, into the hands of the king, and they shall smite the land out of the hand, and I will not deliver them. And all the people know, well, I'm just waiting for my spaceship to come, or my cruise ship, or whatever kind of ship. It just said he ain't delivering you. Not the wicked. And if you're over there talking about another savior other than Elohim, you're wicked. So he ain't coming for you. And they try to be clever, Yahuah and Yahushua. That's being clever. Our Abiyah don't shut his authority with no, he's sovereign. How could y'all come up with that? Oh, I forgot. Witchcraft, sorcery. Ain't no ships coming from, they're not going anywhere. I don't care what they believe, they're not going anywhere. If you're in any kind of idolatry, sorcery, religion, or keeping the customs of the heathens, and still learning, doing the ways that they taught you. Because all these folk over here talking about this Jesus stuff, don't let them tell you they didn't learn that, from those heathens. They did learn it from the heathens. We all learned it from the heathens. Came right out of wicked Rome. But it goes beyond Rome, Egypt, Assyria, Babylon. It goes well beyond that. But they're Trinity gods. It goes well beyond that. But they refuse to wake up from or come out from them because it's probably going to cost them something they don't want to give up. Like these wicked relationships. And other things. You got to lose that big mansion T.D. Jakes live in. That jet, the wicked, what's that devil down there? Jamal Bryant flies around in. Let me go on. Abiyah, I love you. And I will feed the flock of the slaughter, O you poor of the flock. And I took unto me 2 staffs. One I called beauty, and the other I called bands. And I fed the flock. And that's for my brothers and sisters, those of you who are concerned about the famine to come, the dangers to come. Yahuah is not going to forget you. He's going to bring shepherds there. And those angels are going to be there right along with those shepherds. But when that shepherd comes, you have to listen. And some of our people are like, no, sisters and brothers. He said, there'll be a warning, and I not reveal it to my prophets, the shepherds. But Yah shepherds, not someone who made himself a shepherd. Not a shepherd who's teaching the heathens dogma through their religions. Not them. Those are not your shepherds. Those are wolves in sheep's clothing is what they are. But the shepherds of Abiyah, those brothers and sisters, he's sending to warn. And we are warning. We go to bed thinking about you. We wake up in the morning thinking about you. We've been throughout the day thinking about what is Yah asking of us for you, his people. And unfortunately, 2/3 are not listening. And the 1/3 that is listening is still, running around, not doing anything. At least too many of that 1/3. And then some of the 1/3, they're on fire. They're not playing around. They're ready. They're ready for y'all to come today. I know I'm one of them. But if he don't come to tomorrow or what have you, I'm going to still be here, still fighting, still holding my sword in my hand, still using the weapon of the word. That you can be assured of, brothers and sisters. And don't think for 1 second that the enemy don't come after your brother. Yes, he does. With his little dantes. But I also know a whole lot of sugar ain't good for you. And if it's coming out of the devil's hand, none of it is good for you. These demons, or the demon seed, are heathens. 2/3 ones included. Verse 8. And 3 shepherds also I cut off in 1 month, and my soul loathed them, and their soul also abhorred me. In other words, I could not stand them. And it's interesting, when I looked at the 3 shepherds, I was thinking about that, and you do some research on it. It's filthy, wicked, lying demons pushing you back into the idolatrous stuff over in the New Testament. I mean, conflating the word all kind of ways. This was written long before any of that stuff was going on over there. They hadn't even written those books. Paul had not even written those letters. that now many are teaching from those letters as though that's, out of the Tanakh. I mean, Paul wasn't even born yet. If I was to take an educated guess, I would probably tell you it's those shepherds are the institution of finance, the institution of religion, and the institution, what was that third one? I wrote the third one down here. World's governments. The governments of this world, what you already see, he's going to knock those kings down. So I think that's world governments. I think that's world religion. And I think it's the monetary system. He's going to destroy it all. He's abhorred by it, what they have constructed. When you think about between military, finance, and religion, they have deceived and attacked Abba Yah's people and destroyed this earth. Then he said, I will not feed you that dies, and let it die. And that is to be cut off, let it be cut off. And let the rest eat everyone the flesh of another. So he's talking about when he cuts it off, when he shuts everything down, he said, no more mercy, no more grace. I'm done. I'm done. But see, the religions over there tell you, just believe. All you got to do is believe. You don't have to do nothing but just believe. When you believe, you in. So I guess according to the pedophiles in. Just have faith in Jesus or Yahuah, whatever they're over there telling you. It's when they're propping him up to be equal to Elohim. Saving powers. When Abba Yah said there is no other Savior. Isaiah 43, read it for yourself. But you know how the clever devil, they'll try to come over there, well, but what about this? But what about it? Well, tell me what it means. You tell yourself what it means. I'm not going to waste my time. He said, what did it say? Let them go die, let them die. Let them that's going to be cut off, let them be cut off. Why would I be wrestling and debating with you? He just told me, leave you be. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Believe what you want to believe. I know what's the truth. Those of us who know the truth, we know what's the truth. And we're sure not going to spend a hot second debating it with you. So don't waste your time in the comments. Just going to block you and delete your comments. And you're interested in eating the flesh of one another. Doesn't that sound like these damn zombies they get everybody set up for? Oh, that's crazy. Yeah. You're looking at art imitating life on your television all day long, and now you're seeing all of a sudden they got that, what do they call that, trank out there? People getting mummified. But you still don't believe because you won't consider. Why? Because you reject the Most High. Are you living in the religious or the lie of religion? Because if you would just understand and read and come into the Tanakh and Abba Yah and obey Abba Yah's stuff, you would know it's true. You'd see, open your eyes and say, oh, there it is, right there. But again, what the words say? The possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. Or you won't take no responsibility for what you see. So Yah's just gonna blind you, like you say. You know, let me go 9 again. Then I said, I will not feed them. And that dies, let it die. And that be cut off from Abba Yah. Let them be cut off. And let the rest of them eat each other. Melting with eyes, tongue, skin, and then cannibalism. And that's still not enough for some. Where do you think you're going to hear what you're hearing at, other than where you're hearing it at? I'm not saying others don't understand and study, but put your ear to the ground and see if you hear them. Because I don't. Rare few, and even them, they get all loopy and start going off into the wild blue yonder somewhere. You be like, I don't know where you're going with all that. It's the book and nothing but the book. Stay in the book. Not hard. God has the power to reveal to you what's in his book. You don't need help from outside sources. Not saying that you shouldn't research and read and study things. That's what you do. That's what we do. But in terms of validation of the book validates itself. Abiyah don't need no witness. He's his own witness. And he has his messengers and his servants, the prophets, to tell his people if they're willing to listen. Oh, and also wise enough to surround themselves with other people who listen. Wise counsel. But a prophet Abiyah would already understand that. I took my staff and even the beauty and cut it asunder, that I might break my covenant which I had cut with all the people. And it was broken in that day. And so the poor of the flock that waited upon me knew that it was the word of Yahuah. And I said unto them, if you think good, give me my price. And if you not, forbear it. So they weighed for my price 30 pieces of silver. And Yahuah said unto me, cast it into the potter. And a goodly price that I was prized out of them. And I took the 30 pieces of silver, and I cast them to the potter in the house of Yahuah. And then I cut asunder the other staff, even the bands which I break, the brotherhood between Yahuah, Judah, and Israel. See, there's a lot right there in that particular truth, and we discussed that in the study. Because these devils want to, you're 30 pieces of, they got 30 pieces of silver for other things inside this book. That whole situation with Judah wasn't the first time they used 30 pieces of silver, or 30 pieces of silver came up in our book, brothers and sisters. It's right here too, but there's other places, and it's not referencing no Judas. This says, this all has something to do with the dividing of Israel and Judah. So wouldn't that tell you it's probably something that Solomon did when he went around with all them heathen wives who turned him against Abiyah? Then the two nations split. So what are they talking about? And I bring that out so when they come at you with that stuff, just shut it down, brothers and sisters. Say, wait a minute. This is talking about the dividing of the people. The northern from the southern tribe. What the hell that's got to do with Judas Iscariot? Verse 15. And Yahuah said unto me, take unto you the instruments of the foolish shepherd. For lo, I will rise up a shepherd in the land, which shall not visit those that be cut off, neither shall seek the young one, nor heal that is broken, nor feed him that stands. So he said, Abiyah said, I'm going to send a shepherd that ain't going to give a damn about them. Talking about the wicked. He said, if I cut them off, they're not going to hear that shepherd. I'm not sending no shepherd to them. I'm not going to send no shepherd to their children. I'm not sending no shepherd I'm not going to get them out of the fix or the trouble that they're in. I'm not doing anything for them because of their hard-heartedness. Because they refuse to obey his truth. And if you go back, you look at that, check this out. How many of us, brothers and sisters, or give ear, I should say, check it out, y'all. Give ear to this. We were all taught that when we prayed, we were to pray a certain way. Whatever way that was. And that Abiyah would hear your prayers. Or they claim, in their case, the replacement Yahuah. The replacement Yahuah. They call him Yahushua, Jesus, or Buddha, or Allah, or Krishna, or Amun-Ra, or Horus, or whatever the hell names they got out there. I know some other gods and some other sons, but I think you get the gist of what I'm saying here. But follow me over here to the book of Proverbs. Now I want you to remember what we're talking about here. And we're talking about, going before Abiyah. This is serious. And this is so serious that it's scary, brothers and sisters. Go to Proverbs chapter 28. Go to verse 9. Look how this reads, brothers and sisters. He, him, us, that turns away his ear from hearing the Torah. The Torah. The Torah. Now, we know the Torah books, right? When someone say Genesis, but I would tell you more Joshua than Genesis. But anyway, we know for a fact that it's Exodus, Numbers, Leviticus, and Deuteronomy. He says if you turn your ear away from those books, in other words, you're not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of Abba Yah. Look what he says here. He that turns away his ear from hearing the Torah, even his prayer shall be an abomination. And they over there telling you pray in Jesus' name or Yahushua's name. And right here it says, the only prayers Abba Yah is hearing is those who keep the Torah. Have nothing to do with it. And he said, if you're not keeping the Torah, your prayers are an abomination before him. Look, I read this to you from the book. Again, Proverbs 28:9. He that turns away his ear from hearing the Torah, even his prayers shall be an abomination. Not only everything else they're doing is going to be an abomination, even their prayers also is going to be an abomination. In other words, Abba Yah saying he don't even hear their prayers. These devils had us in all these temples and synagogues and churches and mosques, whatever we want. All of them just chanting and hooping and running and speaking in tongues and all kinds of crap. And we wonder why is our situation not changing when we leave out this church. We're still in the ghetto. We're still in the hood. We're still getting locked up disproportionately. We're still sick disproportionately. We're still living in substandard housing. We still have the minimum resources. Why isn't anything changing? And we're doing all this stuff in these churches that they're telling us to do. These wicked shepherds are telling us to do. At least the shepherds we thought were trustworthy turned out to be wicked shepherds telling us to do. And nothing has changed. You know why, brothers and sisters? Because y'all didn't hear our prayers. We were in abomination. And that's why this is so important, what we're doing in these last days. That's why this ministry is called DFG-End Day, Messenger. God gave me that title. At least he told me to label my work under that title. End of Days Messenger. So don't come over here looking for some warm, fuzzy feeling. What you think you were going to get from someone that you see it on the channel, End of Days Messenger, and you see fire behind it. What do you think you were going to hear? No, you're going to hear what you're hearing. Because when he told me to put it there, he meant what he said. Warn them. Warn my people. Warn them. They're not going to listen, but you warn them anyway. At least most of them. But for that few who will hear, I'll show them where you are. They will come. With that what is that Field of Dreams movie with Kevin Costner? If you build it, they will come. About those baseball players. He said, they'll come. They'll come. And I am so ever grateful that Abba Yah would love me enough to let me be a shepherd and a servant to his people. It's the ultimate reward, but the most humbling responsibility. Because I can't run. Many of our brothers, you can run, you can just unsubscribe, you can go do whatever but I can't run. Because wherever I am, he's there too. And just like with Jonah, if I try to jump in the ocean to stop, he'd just pick a big fish, will swallow him up behind in 3 days again. Here we go about that 3 days in the belly of the whale. But anyway, I'm just saying, he just spit me back out and send me where I'm supposed to go, and so be it. I'm not equating myself with no Jonah, because I don't have nothing in common with him, other than maybe the calling, but he's in rebellion, I'm not. Or he was in rebellion, I'm not. But it says so right here. I'll read it one more time. He that turns away his ear from hearing, listening, studying, obeying the Torah, even his prayers are considered an abomination. And see what I read over there in Zechariah 14:8? That melting, that's for those who are in abomination. What he told me, he's going to cut off That's abomination. Those who say who are unalive, let them be unalive. That's for those who are going to be, those or who are cut off. I mean, that's who are according to this abomination. Those who are going to be running around, cannibalizing, eating one another. That's them same ones, brothers and sisters. And they over there thinking, oh, yeah, I know he heard my prayer because I know. No, you don't know. You just think you know. There's a way that seems right to a man. Proverbs 14:13. But in your way, you are lost. You are wrong. And you're not wrong because your brother DFG say you're wrong. You're wrong because the book says you're wrong. They are wrong because the book said they are wrong, brothers and sisters. Let's go on back. I wanted to share that with you, brother, because I think it's important that we hear that. Let's go on right here. He said, then I will cut asunder the staff, and even the band, that I might break the brotherhood between Judah and Israel. And Yahuah said unto me, take unto you the instruments of a foolish shepherd. For lo, I will raise up a shepherd in the land, which shall not visit those that be cut off, neither shall seek the young, nor heal that is broken, nor feed that which that stands. And when you look at that, he said he's going to send someone. In other words, but there are going to be a certain group that are not going to hear. It reminds me of Amos 8:11. You remember we read that already. And he even mentioned the young over there. And again, this is the Bible study broken down, believe it or not, brothers and sisters. I know you're like, goodness, great. What kind of Bible study y'all having? One that talks about the truth, one that talks about the Torah, one that visits the apocryphal books, and one that we try to teach one another and hear from Abba Yah, so we don't get destroyed with the rest of these heathens. That's the kind. The book of Amos, chapter 8, verse 11. It says, behold, the days come, says Yahuah. And I'm not exalted by Yahuah. I'm just exalted how they don't understand it's Yahuah, and nothing but Yahuah. That's what I don't understand. How could they be so blind? But then again, it's witchcraft. They're under the spell of religion. And there's many, many faces. That's why they call it a wolf in sheep clothing. They don't even know it. But Yah told me to tell it, so I'm telling it. He said, behold, the days come, Adar Yahuah, and I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor thirst for water, but the hearing of the word of Yahuah. And he said, verse 12, and they shall wander from sea to sea, to and fro, and from the earth, even from the east, they shall run to and fro to seek the word of Yahuah, and they shall not find it. In fact, in that day shall the little girl, that's a fair virgin, and the young men, young women, young men, shall faint for that thirst. You know what they say? When faint for that thirst, that means that they're gonna be destroyed because there wasn't a word. They rejected the Torah. They rejected the only true Savior. They let the heathens teach them. They learned the ways of the heathen. Jeremiah 10 said, learn not the ways of the heathen, but they wouldn't listen to us when we tried to warn them. And therefore, Abba Yah says in Zechariah, let's go back over here and then we're almost done. Abba Yah says in Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8, check this out, brothers and sisters, and it shall come to pass in that day, says Yahuah, two parts therein shall be cut off. Remember, he said he's going to cut them off. We just read that those are going to be cut off, let them be cut off. Those that are going to be unalive, let them be unalive. And let them, eat each other. We just read that. But he said, two parts shall in that day be cut off, and they will die. We just read that over in 11. You want it? Let me read it to you one more time, just so you don't accuse me of conflating the word. Here's what it says. Zechariah 11 and 9. Cross-reference it. Precept, line upon line, precept on precept. You can't be over here and afraid to study. You can't be over here and refuse to do your research. And you're sure not going to be over here with me taking scripture out of context and building lies using, a new book, or what they call promise, to try to twist the word of the Tanakh. Not happening. Not here. Not with me. And not with many of us, I might add. If you agree, you can thumb now. You can give me a thumbs up for that. You can thumb this video up for that if you agree with me. But that's about what the agreement going to end. I'm talking about in terms of, following the ways of them heathens. We're going to get precepts, line upon line, precept on precept. But I always say, get your highlight out, mark it, then go back and study for yourself and see if Yah shares something with you that you don't see in studying along with your brother. If your heart is right, he'll show it to you if you want to know. But if you don't, he's just going to cut you off. But look what it says. Then said I will not feed you, and that he that dies, we just read that over in 13, he that dies, let him die. He that's cut off, let him be cut off. Now come right back over here, Zechariah 13 and 8. What does it say? And it shall come to pass that in all the land, says you, 2 parts, 2 parts, and all the lands, 2 parts, says you, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die. Him that be cut off, he's going to be cut off. Let him be cut off. Him that's going to die, let him die. Just read it. Just shows you again. It's the 2/3 he's talking about. And then I will bring that 1/3 through the fire, and I will refine them as silver is refined, and I will try them as gold is tried. In other words, you're going to have to be resilient. You're going to have to fight for this truth. You're going to have to be willing to be criticized, humiliated, disrespected, but you're going to have to stand regardless. You're going to have to be willing to be called bywords and proverbs, N-words, all kind of words, racist, prejudice. They're going to say everything they can think of to attack you, but you're going to have to stand, brothers and sisters. That's called standing and being tried through the silver, or tried through the fire. Through the, what it said? That's the same as being, I'm going to bring you the 3rd part through the fire, and I will refine you as silver is refined, and will try you as gold is tried. Gold is tried to make sure that it's pure. He's going to make sure that you are pure, brothers and sisters. Pure, P-U-R-E. That you're a 100% in. We read that a little bit. Abba Yah goes throughout the whole earth looking what? To show himself strong, and those whose hearts are what? Pure towards him. Pure, P-E-R, pure. Assured with him. 2 Chronicles 16 and 9. Read it earlier. Abba Yah's word is consistent. It has no private interpretation. It's just revelation knowledge for those whose hearts are, again, loving and humble towards him. But so many of them are so arrogant. I don't care what you're studying over. Yeah, because you're arrogant. And you're only cut off for that attitude if you don't repent. And I'm not talking about tomorrow, the day you hear the voice of Abba Yah. The day you hear this truth, you should fall down on your face and repent. And then turn back to the Torah, so when you pray, Yah will hear your prayers. And then keeping the Shabbat is a part of that, I might add. And the other things that we talked about, Sister Rosalind shared with us in the post. Don't forget about that. And they shall call on my name. Talking about those who get tried through the fire, those who pass the test, those of us who hang in it. He said, then when we pray, when they call on my name, I will hear them. You see how this ties back up with 2 Chronicles 7 and 14? If my people who are called by my name, says Yahuah, will humble themselves and pray, says Yahuah, and turn from their wicked ways, says Yahuah, then I will hear them from heaven. Here again, right here. They will call on my name and I will hear them. Talking about the 1/3. And I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, he is our Yahuah Elohim. So wrapping this up. But Lord will raise up a shepherd in the land, which shall not visit those that's going to be cut off. So brothers and sisters, like when they don't want to hear what you have to say, let it go. Don't strive. Don't fight with them. Don't debate them. They can come, just like you found the truth, brothers and sisters, like we found the truth, and we are reading out of the same book they claim they believe in too. If that ain't enough for them, what do you think you're going to be able to do for them at the end of the day? Yeah, warn them, but don't fight and debate with them. You're wasting time, putting money in bags with holes in it, as the prophet said. Don't fight with them. Give them the word and then be done. If they want to come, then they'll come out. If they want to get cut off, they'll stay right where they are, where no knowledge is being increased. Everybody in there is, nobody's growing in the church. No knowledge in there at all. Just reciting, dancing, screaming, jumping, running, eating, playing. And some other things that I don't choose to get into in there. Verse 17, woe to the idle shepherd that leaves the flock. You see, one of the things about King David, he had a great testimony when he was getting challenged. He said, when the bears came, I fought them off and I killed them. He said, when the lions came, I did the same thing. See, that's what a shepherd that's engaged. He's going to stand up and he's going to do his job. He ain't going to let nobody run him off because they don't like what he's saying. Oh, brother, you too harsh. Oh, brother, you need to be more loving. No, I need to do whatever Abba tells me to do, and that's what I'm going to do. I don't give a damn about what they think. And I mean it, too. But this channel ain't for you if you over here, looking for, somebody to hug it out with because you don't want to do what's right. For those of you who are standing and are ready so we can miss the judgment that's coming, or at least be spared it, then this is the word. This is what he's calling us to be doing, coming out, separating, coming together as communities, so that when that fire does fall, and it's going to fall, these jokers over there talking about some serious stuff between these nations out here. And they got some weaponry that brothers and sisters, they have no idea what kind of weaponry with these lasers and stuff that these heathens have. Because see, their forefathers taught them to do all of that. Go back and read the book of Enoch, chapter 8. And you'll see how they learned all this weaponry. That's why they're the seed of the devil. Because only demons could come up with weaponry that would wipe men off, that would cause men eyes and stuff. Only demons would do that. And only demons would use those resources. Only demons would fly those planes and drop those bombs and shoot those weapons and slaughter men, innocent men. Only a demon would do that. Under the guise of, I signed up for this and I have to. No, you are a demon following demons. Wicked. If that's you. But David fought for the people. He stood up for the people. He was known for doing that. That's why when Samuel came up to him and to his father trying to find out which one of these men is Abba calling to replace wicked Saul with his backsliding, people-pleasing self. And yeah, he backslided because he went to a witch and conjured up a demon spirit from a witch. So that's called backsliding. The ultimate compromise is the people. Go back and read it. When he was to him taking responsibility, he blamed the sheep. That's not what a shepherd does. Not a shepherd that's after the heart of Abba Yah, because that's what he said about David. He said David was a man after Abba Yah's own heart. And that's why Samuel said Abba Yah doesn't look at the outer man, he's looking at what's in that man. Because what's inside is going to control the outside. You don't have to look at the outside. You see what you're doing on the outside. We can see what somebody's doing, but we don't know what their motivations are. That's what we don't always know. But Yah knows what their motivations are. And then when we call out with their motivations out, they get mad or they get angry. Then all of a sudden you start to see that blood dripping off them fangs, them beasts, that them fangs, you see that blood dripping. They're blood dripping mad. How dare he expose me? Yah told me to do it, and I'm happy to oblige him. Woe unto the idle shepherd that leaves the flock. And by the way, if you want to see what I'm talking about with King David, go to 1 Samuel 16 and 7. And then 17 and 36, 1 Samuel, you hear David, giving for his testimony, like some did this past Wednesday night, about the power of Yahuah in their moments, of need, defense, protection. But woe unto the idle shepherd that leaves the flock. The sword shall be upon his arm and upon his right eye, and his arm shall be clean dried up, and his right eye shall be totally or utterly dark. And he said they're going to be blind leaders of the blind. And that's exactly, what's going on right now with these idol worshiping shepherds and all of these, religious organizations, whether they call themselves Christians or not. Now, brothers and sisters, it is what it is. This is what Yah put upon my heart to share with his people. I'm sharing it. What you do with it, that's totally up to you. I don't judge you because the book is judging us all. I don't have to judge you. But I do have to warn you. And that's what I've done. And Yah willing, that's what I will continue to do. And I hope and pray that like-minded men and women, and I know a few of you, will stand alongside with your brother and heed to the calling of Abba Yah in your life to be and to do likewise. As he pulls us together as a small community, a small group, but a powerful one. Now that said, that was the Bible study. I just want to take a moment and thank the brothers and sisters who have been so generous in helping, me to be able to sustain myself as I do the work of our Yah on this channel. And, those last week, Sister Jennifer with an A, Brother Adrian, Brother Dennis, Sister Coladas Smith, Sister Rosalind Hatton and her family, Mariah, Anthony, and Isaiah, Sister Karina. I'll make sure I'm not going to miss anybody, because if you have a heart to share, then I at least should have a mind to call it out. Brother Lamar. I think I got everybody there. This is just over the last week. And I don't care little or much. Thank you. It's needed and it's appreciated. And I encourage and hope that many others will come right along and be as supportive. Because if I can count on my brothers and sisters to stand with me, then I don't have to count on these demons to try to pull me out and manage me. They ain't going to be able to do it anyway. But if I had it my way, and I believe Yah will open a way for us to do it, that, we could do it within Israel. With that being said, brothers and sisters, may Yah bless you, may Yah keep you, may He shine His light upon you. May He guide your path. May He expand your territory, not in greed, but in influence. May He give you love, and may you know His love, and may He show you His peace. Till we meet again, shalom. Bye now.